Cougars starting off with a shot from the far side to the right of goalie Hunter Houston. Mentioned it was a rematch. Dusty Lane taking it back into play on the near side, running into some trouble on the clear. The ride pressure put on by CSU San Marcos. So they win possession back just about 20 seconds in. Shot opportunity on the far post. I believe the save. No! Goal in that spot. Thought Hunter Houston at first made the save on that shot. Heading towards the far post, so CSU San Marcos getting themselves on the board first. Brandon Donatelli, number 88, the sophomore attackman, putting one into the back of the net for the Cougars. He's been off to a good start so far this season. 8 ground balls, 18 goals, 8 assists for the sophomore. So it's the Cougars and San Marcos getting on the board first here. 1-0 the score. San Marcos, the solid program mentioned, the number 9 ranked team in the country, jumping out early here, 1-0. Was a 13-9 victory last season for the Grizzlies opposite this CSU Cougars squad. Last year, down at the national tournament, shot from the near side. Houston partially deflecting that shot on the near post. CSU San Marcos closest to that one as well, went out of bounds. So they will keep the possession. Jacob Hudson, number 23, getting that shot off on the near post for the Cougs. So 1-0, just about 1 minute into the action here. 14:07 and counting now. As the ball comes into X, Donatelli with it just scored for San Marcos, being pestered by Carson Burrill. Conditions the way they are, one of those types of games where you don't really expect to see much of an advantage on either side. Neither one of these two teams really come too accustomed to playing in this type of weather. One thing you can say about the Grizz, you touched on the contingent of Pacific Northwest natives that occupy this roster. Comes in right in front of the net, loose, up against the cage on the near post, and Hunter Houston able to corral the loose ball. So, Cougars getting close to the crease, right in front of Hunter Houston. He's able to make the stop on the near post this time. Now looking for a clear opportunity with 13:15 to go. Right at that midfield stripe. The Grizzlies do get across the timeline. Preston Steele able to find his way across. Tries to pass it Brody Stevens' way. He had a really solid evening out in Austin, Texas last year. Round Rock, to be exact, last year at the national tournament. Brody Stevens with 3 assists and 2 goals in this matchup last year. Again, mentioned a 13-9 win over CSU San Marcos In the quarterfinals of the national tournament, Grizzlies would ultimately fall to Rhode Island in the national semifinal. Last year's MCLA tournament won by the Utes at the University of Utah. So you see a stoppage now with 12:40 to go. No, it's San Marcos, a good possession. Saw both teams kind of headed back towards the bench area. First thought you saw a timeout, but no. Grizzlies giving it away. Now pass into the middle. A lot of congestion there. Justin Ring trying to pick up a loose ball. Ball ends up going right towards Hunter Easton on the far post, who's able to snare it. It looks like the Cougars will be awarded possession back. Yes, Jacob Hudson will take it back into play on the near side. Whistle sound, clock starts back up now, 12 to go. First quarter, still a one-goal advantage for the Cougars of San Marcos. A little bit of a different feel for Montana early on from what we saw their last game against the Tritons, with Montana jumping out right away in that game against UCSD on Sunday, scoring 3 goals in the first 2.5 minutes or so to jump out early in that one. Great look on the far post, another goal for the Cougs. Nicely set up there. Jason Feinbolt, number 77, the Temecula native, just right down the road, scores goal number 24 on the season for him. Feinbolt, one of the top attackmen in the conference a season ago. He was an honorable mention for an All-American nod last season, and he was an All-Conference nod as well, first team All-Conference guy with 50 goals last season. Mentioned these two teams got together last year. The Cougars were shorthanded. A few of their top attackmen missed time due to injury. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind also. The Cougars may be something to prove, so to speak, after that loss last season in the national tournament. So the Grizzlies finding themselves down early in this one, 2-0, 11:35 to go. So far in the first 3.5 minutes or so, the ball has been possessed the majority of the time by CSU San Marcos. So they've done a nice job setting the tone early in this one. So we'll see now if Marcus Nutt and his offense can get something rolling here. Reese Barron coming behind the net now in X. Another nice day for Barron. Really, Marcus Knight had a nice afternoon also, I felt. Really kind of get himself maybe feel a little bit more comfortable playing so close to home. He is a Dana Point native. Scored close by, Carlsbad. Peter Kernan, who scored once on Sunday, feeds Marcus Knight up top. Pass now to the far side, looking to dodge is Stewart. Preston Stewart puts his shoulder down, backs off with 10:45 on the game clock. Stewart far side now, looks to feed into the middle. A lot of defensive pressure there, and San Marcos able to come out of there with a loose ball, and they look for a clear and come charging down the other way. Quick in transition now. Pass comes to the near post, loose, gets away, and goes out of bounds in the far corner. But very quick transition offense from CSU San Marcos, just coming screaming right down the field. Shea Peters, number 4, was able to deflect the pass. He took the clear all by himself, charged right down the net. And that is something that Dr. Sargent and the Grizzlies saw on film looking at this CSU San Marcos outfit. This is a team that will fly around. A lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. And you're seeing that here in the first couple of minutes. Another shot from the far side, stopped by Hunter Easton. Easton will now look for a clear with 9:50 to go, first quarter. Grizzlax.com and the ESPN MT app, with Cougars leading 2-0. Sean Sealer tosses it up ahead, finding Gavin Yomas, who finds a clear. Now with Marcus Knight with 9:40 to go. Grizzlies improve their record to 9-1 on the year. 5-1 are the Cougars of San Marcos, but one very impressive win on their total. Hit up high on Brody Stevens. Let's see if Ryan come out there. 9:20 to go. The Cougars win the ball back. Miles puts his body on the line right at the midfield strike. Trying to challenge on the ride. Ball comes loose. Whistle sounds. San Marcos will be awarded possession here. Yes, they will, with 9:10 to go. My eyes did not deceive me. Might have seen a lightning strike my peripherals to my left. I hope not, with 9:05 to go. You see a lightning strike, obviously that may put this game into some sort of a delay. So far, so good if you're a San Marcos fan. 2-0 lead. Throwing this one away, though, going loose towards the midfield strike. Touched up the other side of the timeline, so that's over and back called against the Cougars. So a turnover there. Quick chance for Luke Glowacki looking to make something happen on the far post. Hit by Aiden Havens, who scored 3 times in the first half. Fabulous game for Aiden Havens in the win over UCSD. Second of 3 games for Montana in this spring break trek. Headed up to Los Angeles for game number 3. Chance on the far post and goal. First goal of the day for Montana comes for Hank Hancock, number 35. Fitting that it's Hancock getting the scoring started for the Grizzlies, as he was the first man to put one in the back of the net. Montana's win over the Tritons. So, I guess you could look at that as a coincidence. If you're superstitious, that's a good sign. If you're a Montana fan. So Hank Hancock scores to make it 2-1. With 8:10 to go, first quarter. Grizzlies on the board. Trailing only by 1, just about halfway through this opening quarter of play. Battle now off the face-off as the ball goes loose on the far side of the field. And what else is new? Mason Slacker picks up a ground ball. He has just been a ground ball machine. Last couple of weeks, almost has to loose. Penalty flag comes flying out late. Seemed to me like Hess was talking with the official about something as he was able to pick up the ground ball. Brody Stevens takes a shot from long range. That stopped on the far post. And once again, we saw a penalty flag come down on the near side of the field, call coming against San Marcos with 7:35 to go. First quarter, 2-1 lead for the Cougars. But now, Montana will go a man up for the first time in the game. First time we've seen either team go a man up. So 2-1 deficit. See if the Grizzlies can take advantage of this man-up situation. Rain seems to be tapering off just a bit as
Water
of
is
now.
coming out of there.
Let's say that again. Don't want to give it to broadcasters first. Either way, I know I'm blamed either way. If it starts, a big rain deluge starts. Great pass on the far post. Rebound chance. The Grizzlies score to tie it up. 2-2 game. Grizzlies don't give up. It was the captain, Peter Kernan, putting it in. 2-2 now. Great look on the far post. Able to find just the smallest alleyway to get it into a good goal scoring spot. A save was made initially. Loose ball popped out. Grizzlies didn't give up. They score on the rebound to tie it up. 7:09 to go, first quarter. We're tied at 2. So back and forth we go. Number 3 battling number 9. Roger Wittes, Grizzlax.com, and the ESPN NT app. Scrum again. Looking for a ground ball off the faceline. Picked up by the Cougars. With 6:50 to go. I believe that was Kobe Brown picking up the loose ball. A 2-time All-American is Kobe Brown. Very talented player. Sticks are down. Loose ball. Don't see a penalty flag on the field, but whistle sounds. San Marcos will be awarded possession. Our physical play. And Sean Sealer defensively there trying to knock the ball loose. Maybe a little bit too physical, trying to win the ball back. 6:50 to go, 58 ticks on the shot clock. 2-2 tie. This may be a tight one here on a very wet and blustery evening. And this has just been the reality for the state of California this whole winter season. These atmospheric river systems, we almost seem more like the opening to Jurassic Park. We're showing up at the game today. Great top shelf shot as the Cougars get the lead back. 3-2 now the score. What a beautiful shot that was. Going to the top right-hand corner. I believe that was Donatelli again. Number 88, his second goal already. And San Marcos has the 3-2 lead back. 6:06 to go, first quarter. not quite to the 609. 619, I should say. Of course, 619 area code is so synonymous with the San Diego area. We're here in Carlsbad. A little bit different experience of SoCal last year. Last year out in San Diego, and in Carlsbad this year, it was about beach, surfing. Not so much this trip, it was more about staying dry. But still, I heard Rose got a chance to. I heard two guys went to the aquarium. Still had some fun. Still was able to get some golf in, I heard yesterday as well. Carlsbad, a great town also. Kind of a small SoCal beach town vibe, a lot of great restaurants, things to walk around, go do. Hank Hancock scored goal number 1, feeds Stewart, far post, gets around one defender, spins around another. 3 defenders hounding Stewart. He'll backtrack and find Hancock now. First course, no, going to keep it on the far side. Great look down low. Pass across, Stevens has it knocked loose, keeps control. Now with Miles Hess, 30 seconds left on the shot clock. 2 defenders howling Brody Stevens as he tries to come near post. He has it knocked away. Now looking for a clear are the Cougars on the far side. Reese Barron is hacking away, trying to get loose. Coming near side now. Able to find it across the timeline with Brandon Wamsley, number 13. 4:45 to go. First quarter, big hit. Right after midfield strike. Cold smoking hit there for Sean Sealer. Hit brought to you by Kettle House Brewing Company. My goodness. Physical hit here in the opening quarter. Alex Heck also out there on this possession. He was a very nice contributor for Montana on Sunday. Did a lot of little things I saw. Picked up a lot of ground balls, was there defensively, playing physical. In there now defensively, not allowing the ball to get close to the net. Shot was way to the left with 4:11 to go. 28 seconds left to shoot for San Marcos. Cougars have led for most of this one. Their largest lead was 2. And it's there again now. Rolling, San Marcos, lead Kobe Brown, the All-American, scores to get the Cougars 2-goal lead back. Kobe Brown out of Escondido, California, just up the road. Guy with an interesting story. He's played in a couple of different programs around MCLA lacrosse. Played at Grand Canyon. Start things out, took a couple years off. He's now been with San Marcos for this is his 2nd year. This was a ground ball machine a season ago. He did it all for San Marcos in their matchup in Round Rock a season ago. Had, I believe, 5 ground balls and 5 goals for the Cougars. So yes, in a losing effort on the national stage, but obviously a fabulous player. 3:40 to go, first quarter, 2-goal advantage for CSU San Marcos. It's been a little bit back and forth here in this opening quarter. We've seen both teams have momentum for stretches, kind of going back and forth, and that's kind of what you expect in a game like this. 2 ranked teams playing against one another. Especially you're looking at a team like CSU San Marcos losing at the national tournament. Whenever you lose to an opponent like that, you see them again in quick succession. Ball going out of bounds will stay with CSU. 3:20 to go in the quarter, 55 on the shot clock. Though when you see teams go up against each other in quick succession, and you lose, it's easy to, when you see them again the next season, to have that date circled on your calendar. Say, hey, we got something to prove. Grizzlies have been ranked number 1 in the country. Obviously, a team that's thought highly of in the MCLA world. Saved by Hunter Easton, shot going to the far post. Trying to stick one by Hunter Easton that time was Axel Gerada, number 7, getting that shot off. Radio High School, Temecula, California native, a little bit east of us here in Carlsbad. 2:40 to go, first quarter. San Marcos has led most of the way. Gerada looks to dodge now, near side, gets around Hancock, comes into the middle, 2 defenders come, and it doesn't matter. Gerada takes on 2, maybe even 3 defenders, gets the shot off, And the lead is now the largest it's been here in this opening quarter of play. Cougars looking solid here in this first quarter. They lead by 3, 5-2 to score now with 2.5 minutes to go. Whistle sounds. I believe Tucker Sargent's calling for a timeout on that far sideline. Yes, he is. Timeout Grizzlies. Timeout Montana. Tucker Sargent wants to talk about this start here in the first quarter. CSU San Marcos with some momentum, leading by 3. We'll take this timeout with them on MLAX.com and the ESPN MTN. San Marcos leading in the midst of what seems to be more like a hurricane, but it does tonight in Southern California. But we'll keep it going right after this.
So his parents are going to let him do 10 years of college?
Probably going to be his last year, maybe next year as a graduate. And then our midfielder, one of our starting middies got hurt last game against Long Beach. He's out for the season.
Is Long Beach over?
No, but
I was going to say, we are.
I don't know why the player started.
Just so they could get some reps.
I think it was like 16-2 at half, and then he pulled everybody out. He got hurt second quarter.
A knee, or what did he do?
Knee.
Oh.
MCLA, he's coming off a 1-year injury. So now he says, I guess going to rehab for another year.
First quarter, having a timeout, the Grizzlies will look to get some momentum back as we
Maybe if we could
get close to the end of the quarter. Just 2.5 minutes left. The lead is 3 for San Marcos. Chase Jarvis picking up a face-off win. Jarvis, one of his better games in the win on Sunday opposite the Tritons. And Grizzlies offense roared in the first half, scoring 10 goals in that first half and just scoring once in the second half. Jace Jarvis really was a big part of that win for the Grizzlies, winning some huge possessions in that second half, allowed Montana to run some time off to stave off that attack in the second half from the Tritons. Still an impressive win for the Grizzlies, handing UCSD their first loss. Came into that one with a record of 7-0. San Marcos at 5-1, but also featuring a win over a ranked Division I team in San Diego State a few weeks back. The team and the players that have All-American credentials on the roster. You know, this team has their eyes set on Round Rock, Texas, and a big reason why challenging the Grizzlies here is they want to see how they rank up against some of the best teams in the country. The same is true, obviously, for the Grizzlies as well. They want to test themselves against solid competition. Miles Hess gets thumped as he shoots from the far side. Aiden Havens will take it back into play with 1:12 to go. Shot clock at 72 and counting now. Just over a minute left, 1:12 to be exact. Not sure what we're waiting on.
We're waiting on the shot clock.
Must be that they're messing with the shot clock on the far side. See him kind of now moving it around, so I'm assuming the officials want it set to a certain time. Ticking the shot clock down. My guess is that they reset the shot clock and the officials said, no, it should not have been reset initially. Putting it now at 10, so yes, that's what the case is. So only 10 seconds it looks like for the Grizzlies to shoot now. As they take it back into play with 1:10 to go. So the Grizzlies will have to hurry. Havens passes up top. Whipped a shot to Stewart to the right of the net. As the last couple of seconds of the shot clock tick off. Miles Hess taking it back into play. And as he does, shot clock runs out. So a shot clock violation called against the Grizzlies at the 1 minute mark of his first quarter. It's seen San Marcos lead for the vast majority of it. Grizzlies have not led at any point. Cougars try to get it clear on the far side, throwing it away, so Mason Slacker will take it back into play. Mason Slapper had it across the timeline initially, backtrack to the other side now with Hess, who will settle it down. 35 seconds left of the quarter, so the Grizzlies can wait for the last shot, the best opportunity here at the end of this quarter to try to put one in the back of the net right at the end of this first stanza of play. 25 seconds left. Stewart uses his speed. Defense is there. Brown comes into the middle. Going up high, and the shot is Hess. He scores with 15 ticks on the clock in the quarter. Miles Hess makes it 5-3. Great shot from Hess. Great field awareness also. Seeing where the hole in the defense was, he just planted himself right in front of the net in that big hole in the defense. Stewart was able to find him. Most likely get credit for an assist there. And the Grizzlies trail by 2. So still trailing, but a little bump of momentum right there at the end of the quarter. Gotta let that face-off spot. Slapper had it for a moment. Marcus Knight in there as well, battling away with 6 seconds left. Battle for the ground ball, near side of the field. Whistle sounds. Will be awarded to San Marcos here with 2 seconds left. So they toss it into play. The clock will start. Shot comes in. Houston makes the stop. That is the end of the first quarter. End of 1 here in Carlsbad. Supposed to be in San Marcos. I've heard their field is just a complete mess on the CSU San Marcos campus. They play on a natural grass field, so with all the rain, would have looked like something out of All Quiet on the western front with all the muck. So that's the reason why we're here playing on this turf field. But you can see how much standing water there is out here. Plenty of moisture on this stuff as well. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like footing has been a huge problem. Haven't seen too many guys flying around dealing with the footing. So that seems to be pretty good so far. Worry about injuries, those sorts of things, but 1 quarter of play, so far so good on that front. Grizzlies will look to make some adjustments in the second quarter as they trail 5-3 on Grizzlies. Start off the second quarter of play. Glad you're with us. GrizzLax.com. Hopefully you found a dry place to check us out. Steve Healy, myself, Jeff Safford, rolling with you. So we're getting ready to start off the second quarter. And up here, it's pretty packed. Press box up here. Typically, the scorer's table across the way is Becky Smith, but today, she's sitting right to my right. She gets a spot up top in the press box also. Kind of hard to score a lacrosse game when you can't even write something down or see it. I would imagine her scorebook would have looked something more like that. I'm trying to think of something like Squid Ink. There we go. That's a good one. Kind of black, just can't read anything. Great pass to the near post. Stop made though on the shot. Hayden Haven sneaking in there, trying to get the Grizzlies a goal closer. Scoring one right there at the tail end of the half. They're out to a 2-goal deficit. Transition offense has been impressive for San Marcos, coming quick the other way, quick to the near post. Grizzlies offense able to get back that time. Quick pass into X. Dodges quick, far post. Justin Rink there defensively along with Kent. I mentioned a few minutes ago that I thought maybe I saw a lightning strike. No, it was just the light coming on to my left. So no lightning in the area as of now. How crazy the weather's been, it wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen lightning on Grizzlax.com. You may remember a lightning delay last year in Bozeman, of all places, for the Camp Grizz game. That was one of the wackiest weather things I've ever seen in Montana. Thunder and lightning, and as Hunter Peaston makes a great save on the far post. 13:35 to go, second quarter. San Marcos with a 5-3 lead. Taking it back into play. New shot clock as well, 75 ticks on that. They take it back. So far for the Cougars, you expect their All-American type of players to make impacts in games like this, and that has indeed been the case. Looking back on that first quarter of play, Donatelli, the go-to guy offensively, scoring a pair in that opening quarter. Kobe Brown also putting one into the back of the net as well. Two guys, one an honorable mention, All-American, and Donatelli. First team All-American is Kobe Brown. He's been a first team and second team All-American in his career, both at the D1 and D2 level of MCLA lacrosse. As Marcus Knight finds his way across the timeline with 12:50 to go. Mentioned it seemed like Marcus Knight had one of his better games on Sunday. A dime, a couple of goals for Marcus Knight, and it seems like, to me, the last couple of weeks, every game grows a little bit more. It's a little bit more comfortable. First league looks like we're offside in this sequence.
No.
That's the reason why they'll give up possession here with 12:28 to go. Ball awarded back to CSU San Marcos. Haven't seen a lot of dirty laundry on the field. That was a very chippy game. Shot, a great shot with the net into the top right-hand post. Getting the lead back to 3 for San Marcos was Nick Page, number 15. Junior midfielder. Page, in now his third year with San Marcos, has already eclipsed his goal total from a season ago. He had 7 goals last year, now with 9 goals. With that goal, his lead is back up to 3 for CSU San Marcos. 6-3 our score here in the second quarter of play. 12:19 to go here in this opening half.
Burke's taking face off. Wow.
Burke Structure in there for the first time on this face-off for the Grizz. Face-off battle, Mason Slapper trying to pick up a ground ball. This is something we've said a number of times already, but rumbling across into the offensive side of the Cougars. Nicely done, setting that up. So far, the advantage at the face-off spot has been with James Ventura, number 17, 6'3", 260 pounds. Out of San Marcos, whistle sounds with 11:58 to go. The Cougars have called their first timeout of the half. So timeout San Marcos, 11:58 to go, second quarter action.
It's like an 80% winner.
Cougs have the 3-goal advantage.
It's 8%,
Roger Witz
but
will be
8%.
back with more action after this 1-minute timeout.
That's a difference.
That's a good sign.
That's a difference.
San Marcos using their first time out here with 11:58 to go, second quarter. They have their possession. They will look for their largest lead of the game. Tied for the largest lead they've had so far in this first half right now with 3 goals, 6-3. They've led through this first half. Montana has never held the advantage at any point. kind of a role reversal for what we saw from the Grizzlies, their win over the Tritons. Grizzlies leading it in the early second to that one. I believe they scored their first goal of the game 30 seconds in and never trailed after that point the rest of the way. Another goal going up high for San Marcos, now a 4. Going in that top left-hand corner. Touchdown, the PAT is good, as I believe Nick Cage found the back of the net. Number 15 for the second time. So we're seeing San Marcos spread the wealth. We've seen now Donatelli score a couple. We've seen Page find the back of the net now twice. Cody Brown. So you can't really fixate yourself on one player through the Grizzlies defensively. That's something Montana typically can say also. Offense coming in waves from a number of different contributors. 11:24 to go, second quarter. And it's San Marcos with their largest lead of this first half, sitting at 7-3. We touched on how the weather through pregame warm-ups, it was an absolute deluge out here. I mean, it was pouring down rain. The wind was whipping. As of right now, the rain has seemed to have tapered off. Definitely has slowed up from what it was when we got here, as has the wind. Even seeing some of the Grizzlies fan club contingent kind of come out of their little hiding spaces. They got one big easy up set up below us. A lot of the fans have kind of huddled in underneath that, but now with the showers tapering a bit, seeing some fans get out, so to speak, and what a great contingent of fans we saw in La Jolla on Sunday. That was so much fun, such a great group of Grizzlies fan club came out, cheering on the Grizz. Hear the crowd going nuts right to my right and left the whole game. Dan, our videographer, was shooting some promo videos and he was getting the fans all into it, so I'm sure he's got some really cool video clips coming up. He's been doing such a great job with all the social media content getting posted on the Facebook and Instagram page. And I don't think it's awesome just because he uses a lot of play-by-play in it. Not that type of guy, but just getting cool shots of boys. Especially thought the content he posted over that Minot trip was cool. Gave fans kind of a insider look into that trek into the Badlands of North Dakota. Yin and yang, right? San Diego and Minot. How many college programs do traveling like that? Not many. Grizzlies, they take on the road. A little bit of a delay here. They're looking at the Grizzly net, or I should word it better, the net that Hunter Heaston is occupying for the Grizz. Looks like assistant coach Ben Busty is out there messing with the net.
Referee.
Could be the referees in there also. My guess is that the net webbing got knocked loose. Seeing some long-range shots from the Cougars in this first half. Now we're finally getting back to play here with 11:23 to go. Another face-off win. Reese Barrett able to find an opportunity and scores.
The guy ran the long way.
There he did. 7-4, and that was kind of a bizarre play. James Ventura looked to have won the face-off. He ran back towards the Grizzly net. Reese Barron was able to take the ball away, and he scored on the near post to make it 7-4. 11:18 to go. James Ventura, he's been solid in this first half. Maybe a little bit of a mental lapse there. He goes right back to what he's been doing for the most part in this half, winning a face-off there. Sets up a possession for CSU San Marcos. Coming far post, right into the teeth of the defense. Mason Slacker tries to knock it loose. Almost came loose. Able to get a pass off to Shea Peters. He's up top. Whoa, almost over Cody Brown's head. Getting pestered by Glowacki is Brown. Look at the footwork. Dodging on the near side. Quick feet for Brown. Comes into the middle. into two defenders. Knocking it loose is Justin Rink. Picking it up is Rink on the ground ball. Racing into the offensive zone is Hancock. Now with Hess. Looking near post. Shot comes instead for making Havens. I anticipated Havens to pass it to Reese Barron. It was planted right on the near post. Instead, shot it himself. It will be Barron taking it back into play on the near side with a 10-15 to go second quarter. Reese Barron spins, has it knocked loose. Coming out of there are the Cougars with Gavin Herrera. He'll look for a clear now. Coming to the far side. Tossing it up ahead. Peters tries to find Kobe Brown on the far side. I believe through the lane. No, Brown able to corral the loose ball right in front of the scorer's table on the far side of the field with 9:50 to go. Donatelli looks to dodge in X. Challenged by Sealer. Still gets a shot off, way to the left of the net. Good physical defense there from Sean Sealer. Never let Donatelli get comfortable on that shot on the near side. 9:38 to go, 44 ticks on the shot clock, and a 7-4 game. CSU San Marcos still leading as they have through this first half. Looking impressive against the number 3 ranked Grizzlies so far. Brown takes a shot from way outside. This one to the left of the net. Bouncing loose now, a race to that boundary line, and it's Carson Burrell winning that race. So he was closest to it when it went out of bounds, so the Grizzlies awarded the ball back. Now Hunter Houston will lob it up ahead, finding Brody Stevens, finding the empty space in the zone on the clear. 9:50 to go, 8:50 rather, in this first quarter in a 7-4 game. Marcus Knight comes near side, finds Barrett. Thought about coming Havens' way, instead goes in X, does Barron. Comes to the far side, Miles Hess. Scored once, right at the end of that first quarter, did Hess. Trying to find the back of the net again, sets up 90, whips a shot to the right of the net. That one had a vapor trail on it. Would have liked to see radar gun on that shot for Marcus Knight. My goodness, that thing was humming. Far post opportunity for Reese Barron. It's hit up high, I believe. A penalty flag flies with 8:20 to go. Said hit up high. Indication on that call from the referee looks like for exact opposite of that, actually. But either way, with 8:20 left in the second quarter, second time in the half, we will see CSU San Marcos go a man down here. Preston Stewart moves it over Barron, then X Havens. Stewart with some space, feeds the far side. Curran, Hess, tried to find Stewart. That pass knocked loose. Now a whistle sound. Looked like Preston Stewart got taken out from behind. So the ball will be given back to the Grizzlies. Peter Curran finds Gavin Yeomans near side. Tries to shoot up high. A stop was made though. Good save in that spot. Looking for a clear way up ahead also. It's a tough pass trying to fit it into a tight window. Who's able with Donatelli. Jeremy able to get the clears. They kind of tossed it up ahead, kind of open a prayer, so to speak, trying to look for the clear. And the prayer was answered. Kobe Brown settles it down. 7:20 to go. 7-4, still the advantage for CSU San Marcos. Looking down field below us, I don't look like there's any rain coming down as of right now. So that's good news for both these teams out here. Shot from way outside. Loose ball in front of the crease now. Picked up by, I believe that's Slapper. What do you know? Mason Slapper picking up another loose ball. Just seems like that guy's got a magnet. It comes to the ball. Ball's bouncing loose. There's a good chance 50 is going to be in there looking for it. Big hit. Right at the midfield strike. Brody Stevens took the brunt of that one on the far side of the field. Shea Peters just laying the wood on Roby Stevens on the far side. Ooh, with 6:39 to go. My goodness, that was a vicious collision on the far side. Grizzlies awarded possession off of that. Seeing some big hits coming in this second quarter. That game against UCSU was very chippy on Sunday. A lot of hits, a lot of jawing back and forth, penalty flags coming out. There was two different sequences where the Tritons had two men down, not just one, not something you see too much in lacrosse. Definitely more common, I would say, in hockey. A little bit more hem and hawing, punches being thrown, that sort of stuff. 6:20 to go. Loose ball picked up again by the Cougs. They come screaming down the field. Here comes the All-American Brown. Coming near post. Good transition defense though. Sean Sealer shutting the window off. Pass comes to the far side. Donatelli stopped by Hunter Easton. Still a chance though out in front. Battle for the loose ball. And it's picked up by Sealer almost. Whoa, big hit again by Sealer as the ball goes loose. Picked up by Nick Pages. He tosses it across. What a battle for the ball that was here on the near side. Shot from the far side. Houston tried to make the stop. Could not. Another goal for San Marcos as the lead moves back up to 4. 8-4 is the tally. Great shot from the far corner. Into the right-hand side. A lot of discussion from the Grizz defenseman trying to get things figured out here in this first half. But so far, Gavin Herrera scoring that time, number 14 for the Cougs. 8 first-half goals from CSU San Marcos. It has been a solid offensive first half. They also have had a distinct advantage for James Ventura at that face-off spot. He has been tough on Jace Jarvis here in this first half. And we mentioned how good he looked on Sunday. One of the big reasons why the Grizz were able to win that game against the Tritons. But give credit to James Ventura. He has come to play here on this Tuesday evening. Big reason why CSU San Marcos finds themselves in front. Able to win possession the majority of the time. Another impressive part of this outfit for the Cougs, seeing them in person, is their ability to get out and run in transition. When they win possession back on this end of the field, they pick up a ground ball. It's off to the races. Miles Hess, good spin move. Shot is stopped on the near post though. Able to pick up his own rebound. Shoots. This one's off the top of the post. Off the top post. Loose ball picked up by Glowacki near side. He tries to find Hess once again. That pass goes loose. Sealer trying to make it, keep it on their side of the field to avoid the over and back. Now a battle for the loose ball. Bodies colliding. Sealer going after it. Justin Rank going after it. Finds it. Tries to pass one across to Hess. He gets hammered right at the midfield stripe. Ends up with Carson Burrell. Finally was able to pass it up ahead to Peter Curran. Now the ball awarded back to San Marcos. I believe they're going to say that they didn't get it across the midfield timeline in time. Being allotted 20 seconds to do so after the change of possession. So the Grizzlies give up the ball in that spot with 3:50 to go in this second quarter. San Marcos looking for their largest lead of this first half, stands at 4 now. Matching their largest lead as it stands right now, 5 goals would be their largest of the half. Would be a rare spot for the Grizzlies as well. One time they really trailed like that was the game against Montana State a few weeks ago on March the 1st, their first loss of the year. Another chance on that far side and getting by Hunter Kingston again. Was, I believe, Nick Page, number 15. It's now a 9-5 lead with 3:23 to go before halftime. And seeing where CSU San Marcos is attacking, they're going towards the far side of the field and attacking that top left-hand corner, especially the last couple of goals you've seen. So they've obviously been able to find the right spot to attack Hunter Houston in this first half. He's showing some signs of being frustrated in the half as well. Going to have to figure it out. But so far, very impressive first half from CSU San Marcos. Another face-off win. Loose ball on the far side, though, picked up by CSU San Marcos. Face-off was won initially by James Ventura. He almost threw it away. Was able to be settled down before the ball trickled out of bounds on that far sideline. 3 minutes even to go before halftime. And this is a big 3 minutes, especially if you're the Grizzlies. You don't want to let this one get too far out of hand before halftime. Montana, in a similar position in the first quarter, seeing the lead stretch out, was able to score a couple, trim the lead to 2 at the end of the quarter. Grizz will look for something like that at the end of the second. Shot from the near side, stopped by Houston trying to go low on the near post. Battle for the loose ball. Ball came into the crease, so it gives Houston an opportunity to win it back.
Oof. Ouch.
Now they look for a clear. But right into 2 defenders is Jace Jarvis. Now putting his shoulder down into another.
What?
Ball going back to CSU San Marcos. Saw Jarvis initiate the contact there on the clear. Possession back. Shot off the far post. Again, transition offense has been lethal in his first half, and Hunter Houston
Turn you guys
is
in, but it
fortunate
will.
that that one didn't end up in the back of the net. Another quick shot in transition just went off the near post. Almost was goal number 10 in his first half for the Cougars. Milwaukee finds some space. Here he comes near post. He shoots up high. This one skips over the top left-hand post into the corner. Havens was closest to it when it went out of bounds. Just over 90 seconds to go, first half. What is a 5-goal advantage for San Marcos? Marcus Knight, quick move into the teeth of the defense, shoots just to the right of the net. Marcus Knight looked to be a bit frustrated. I think he wanted to put that shot on cage, not miss the net. Havens gives it back up to Knight. Tries to go post again, gets loose again, shoots this one off the far post. Was able to hone it in a little bit closer, but Marcus Knight's shot trying to go down low, bottom left-hand corner. Just bounces it off the post.
Oh my God, Marcus.
Looking for Marcus Knight again on the pass. That one down low, gets away from him.
Oh.
Cougars, another opportunity in transition. They come racing towards the near post, now will back it out. With Davis Hancock, under a minute to go, first quarter. They can now wait for the last shot of the quarter if they want to. Good defensive pressure, though, comes in, knocks it loose. Carson Burrill, the All-American defenseman, picks up the ground ball. He's going to have an opportunity to race up ahead for a clear. Whistle sounds instead with 33 seconds to go here in this first half. Stoppage of play with 33 seconds, as I mentioned. There was a penalty flag down behind the play against Montana. So that's the reason for the stoppage here. 9-4 is the score. Both teams going to the benches. Timeout has been called by Wyatt Earnhardt on the San Marcos sideline. So timeout, CSU San Marcos using their last of that.
love their number 4 who has the long stick. That stick looks so big in his hands.
Yeah, he's our chippy guy.
He
He gets like he's good for like one penalty every single game for
well,
talking
you
back
can
to
see
officials.
why. You can see why. I mean, but he's so cute with that big stick. It's pretty funny.
What happened?
I have no idea what's going on. You guys got to clear it. You gonna do that? They probably reconvened and rethought what they were thinking. Oh, Carson, my goodness, honey. Oh, I'm lucky. Oof. Slapper. Dealing boys. Was it Hunter? Was it our goalie that ran to the sidelines and
Yes.
grab that ground ball?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Oh, poor Dan.
Yep, same here. I was.
So far in the first half, advantage has been with folks from just east of us in San Marcos. A 6-goal advantage for CSU. They win the face-off to start off the third quarter. We roll now into the third. San Marcos leading 9-4. As I mentioned right before we went to break, face-offs were a big area of strength. James Ventura getting started right where he left off in that first half. It's Kobe Brown has it near side. Quickly into X it comes. Glowacki trolling defensively. Back into X. Donatelli looks to come near post. Takes on a couple of defenders. Easton tumbling to the ground, trying to be closest to it as it ran out of bounds. Good hustle from Hunter Easton. Not quite able to win the race to that back line as San Marcos will keep the possession alive with 1 minute gone in this third quarter. Shot going up high, attempting to, going up. Top right-hand corner of the post. So shot off the post there for San Marcos, keeping it alive now in the far corner. Ball goes loose, far side. Mason Slapper gonna continue to be that pest, picking up ground balls. Instead ends up with Kobe Brown. Brown, very quick footwork shown off in that first half. Just a versatile guy. Can do so many things for you. Great spin, too. Defenders sent his way. Ball comes more into the middle. Donatelli's shot is over the top right-hand post. 13:26 to go. Third quarter action. CSU San Marcos has led all the way through so far. So, stark contrast to what we saw on Sunday. Montana leading in the early portions of the game. Shot from way outside. Skips to the right of the net. Jason Feibel, number 77, letting that one rip from a long way out. Taking it back into play is Tanner Peach, number 99. Peach now will take it back into play. Tries to make a pass, partially deflected by Hunter Heaston. Good defense there, ends up with Carson Burrell. Now back with Heaston, who will now look for a clear for the Grizz with 2 minutes now gone in the opening quarter. So the Grizz defense holds up on that possession, not allowing the lead go up to 7. Going up to 6 rather. Safford can't do math. It's a 5-goal lead for CSU San Marcos. Ball goes out of bounds, looking for Aiden Havens in the near corner. So the Grizzlies unable to settle things down and work it around that possession, giving it away as Kobe Brown finds an easy alleyway across the 50 and into the offensive side of the field. Jacob Hudson scored once in that first half. Goes back to Peters. Looking to dodge against Brody Stevens. Ball comes into X. Donatelli looks for someone on either corner. Instead shoots from a tough angle and scores. Pretty shot there from the far side, again going to the right-hand corner with 12:01 to go in this first quarter. San Marcos gets the lead back up to 6, matching their largest lead of the game. 10-4 now the score. CSU San Marcos seemingly firmly in control in this third quarter. Grizzlies are going to need to find some juice, momentum.
You need to win a face.
Here in this third quarter. Face-off win would probably be a good place to start. Battle for this face-off. Jarvis has the upper hand here. Big possession win there for the Grizzlies, as Milwaukee will settle it down with Miles Hess. Sometimes all you need is one to get you going. Luke Milwaukee thought about a long-range shot, instead comes to the far post. 3 defenders around him, finds an open space somehow, shoots to the right of the net. The other right, just to the left of it. Miles Hess will take it back into play with 11:37 in the quarter. Stewart. See, Preston Stewart can get going. Haven't said his name too much so far. Dodges far side, puts his shoulder down, takes on a couple of defenders, shoots one off the cage. Milwaukee's shot on the rebound is partially deflected, goes out of bounds way in the near corner. Good help defense from the Cougars. Milwaukee initially looked like he was going to have a good opportunity on that rebound shot. Defense came in front of the net to block that opportunity off. Stewart, straight on, will look to dodge here. Gets a spin move on, comes to the far post, loses his footing, able to keep control though. That's really the first time we've seen a guy lose footing with these damp conditions. Seeing the rain taper off as the game's gone on to Milwaukee's long-range shot to the right of the net. Loose ball picked up by CSU San Marcos on the far side of the field. Gavin Herrera looks for a clear. Pass across the timeline. Cougars do find it. As settling it down, it will be Davis Hancock. Will come jogging off the field with 10:20 to go. Third quarter action, almost using that one. Unforced error. Haven't seen hardly any of those in this one so far. Jacob Hudson almost lost it. Able to find it. Now comes into X. Using a screen. Doing so. Finds player on the far post who's able to put one into the back of the net. Brandon Donatelli, number 88, finds the back of the net again. It's 11-4. Advantage for CSU San Marcos. Another solid start to this half. And that's exactly what CSU was looking for, I'm sure. A big lead at halftime. Just keep that pedal down, so to speak. Just keep on coming. That's what we've seen here in this third quarter. Put a stamp on this one for your CSU. That's exactly what they have done. It's in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter. Now for a loose ball, picked up by Brown. He'll find his way across the timeline. Coming straight on is Brown. Thought about a shot. Now he's going to backtrack. Probably picking the right choice there. Settling it down there for Hudson. So even at this point, with 9:35 to go in the third quarter, with the lead where it is, if you're CSU San Marcos, you want to start thinking about using this clock. Use that to your advantage. The more time you can tick off, the less possession time you're allowing the Grizz, the tougher it's going to be Montana to try to erase this deficit. If you don't possess it, it's tough to score goals, right? Great save made by Hunter Heaston. That shot able to lunge to his left to make the stop. Ooh, comes loose on the far side. Wow, Justin Rink looked to make contact up high right in front of the Grizzlies bench. Not called though. Not sure if it was a little bit of theatrics from that San Marcos player, but I clearly saw his helmet go straight up into the air, which typically would mean a high stick. And we do see a flag come down eventually from the far side of the field. officials coming together with 8:52 to go here in this third quarter, with the Cougars of Cal State San Marcos leading 11-4. Kobe Brown talking with the officials as well. Hank Hancock coming off the field. So I imagine we're going to see a penalty here against the Grizzlies, and we'll see them go a man down. The officials still talking things over there on that far sideline with 8:52 to go. Third quarter clock. Not the final game for the Grizzlies on this spring break trek. They will wrap things up 2 nights from tonight, not too far from downtown Los Angeles, on the campus of Loyola Marymount University. Thursday evening, it will be a 6 o'clock start. Steve and I will have you rolling. Hopefully you'll be a little bit drier for that one. Here on Grizzlax.com and ESPN MT app. It will be a 6 o'clock Pacific start time.
What do we got in the box? I'm confused. Is anyone on a knee?
Yeah, I can't see. I'm trying to.
8:52.
Something 777?
Oh, so
I'm not sure.
Hank is not in the box?
So he said it looks like Hank Hancock was going to the penalty box. Not the case. Now seeing a Cougar player in the penalty area. So apparently CSUSM was called for an infraction. The reason for the penalty flag. But the Grizzlies in a man-up situation, unable to really do much of anything with it. So with 8.5 minutes to go, Kobe Brown takes it right back into the offensive end for San Marcos, going up against Marcus Knight. Looking to build on this lead. Rare territory. Trying to find a pass. Hunter Houston, good awareness there, coming way out of the net to bother that pass into the middle. Just came away from his own net, able to knock it loose, so to speak, because Shea Peters, number 4, found a wide open area right in front of the net. So if Houston didn't come out of the crease to challenge that pass, probably another goal-scoring opportunity for the Cougars. Tough shot from that angle. From the left of the net, goes out of bounds. San Marcos will take it back into play with Jacob Hudson from the near sideline, 7:53 to go third quarter. That shot did reset the shot clock. Taking back into play, Donatelli. He has been very active in this one, dealing with Carson Burrill in this possession. Donatelli, keep it on the near side. Cougars don't look to be in any hurry in this possession. You wouldn't imagine they would be. Coming far post with it. This shot is to the right of the net. See Jacob Hudson bring it back into play, finding Brown on the near side. Dodging now is Peach. Pass near post. Good defensive pressure put on by Carson Burrill as the ball comes loose on the far side, picking up the ground ball. Nicely done there, Carson Burrill all the way around. And that defensive possession, knocking the ball loose on the pass and then picking up the ground ball. Nicely done there for the All-American Burrill. As Hunter Houston will now look for an avenue up across the timeline. Tries to find Slapper on the near side. Loose ball. Ended up with Slapper for a moment, knocked out of bounds. Off of Slapper's stick apparently, so the ball loaded back to San Marcos. Brown will now look for an avenue across the timeline. Spins around one man, still has to get past both Barron and Miles Hess. Kobe Brown goes through 3 Grizzlies to get the clear there. Wow, Kobe Brown kind of moved his way across the timeline. Now the ball given back to Montana. Barron finds Miles Hess. Hess, good pass to Havens. Thought about taking a shot from the near post. Thought better of it, though. See if the Grizzlies try to work a possession here. Haven't seen them get much of a chance offensively to get in really any sort of a flow in this second half. We've got to give credit to San Marcos for doing that. This is the type of an offense that can get very hot, very fast, score 2, 3, 4 goals in quick succession. But when you don't possess, it's hard to get any sort of a rhythm. Gavin Yeomans, near side, now with Curran. Still look to reset now with 35 seconds left on the shot clock. It's a screen up high from Yeomans. Use that shifty footwork to get loose. Quick pass from Yeomans to the far post. Near side now with Hess, who will look to dodge. Defense is there. Only 15 seconds left to shoot. Pass more in the middle. Gavin Yeomans trying to come back into X. That pass partially deflected, going out of bounds in that back line. Shea Peters, again, to pester defensively. 5:08 to go, third quarter. Officials go to the bench area for what reason, I don't know. But Reese Barron takes it back into play. Tries to shoot from the far post. A save was made there, though. Nicely done. Making the save was Easton Bates, number 8. He's been solid so far in between the pipes for the Cougars of Cal State San Marcos. Getting it clear with 4:47 to go, third quarter. It was pretty wild, really, watching Kobe Brown making that clear just moments ago. Grizzlies throwing 2, 3 bodies at him. He just seemed to be so calm the whole time. How he was able to, does Sheree really make his way across? It didn't matter to him. He was getting bodies thrown at him. Just waltzed his way across the timeline. 4:18 to go, third quarter. It's been all San Marcos here in this third quarter. Grizz offense still looking to find the scoreboard here in this third quarter. Shot with plenty of defensive pressure around. Goes skipping over the top of the net. Shot clock not reset, so 31 ticks left on that. As Tanner Peach move it around for Hudson. Hudson against Sean Steeler, uses a screen. More in the middle now with it. Nick Page. Shot from the far side to the right of the net with 3:38 on the clock. Seems like that's what this Cougar offense has been looking to do, taking shots from angles, right or left. I haven't seen them go straight down the middle of the field too much. Kobe Brown had it far side of the field. The whistle sounds with 3:25 left. Now the officials over by the table imagine having trouble with the shot clock. Reason for this stoppage as we come to the last couple of minutes of this third quarter, with San Marcos holding their largest lead of the evening at 7 goals so far. And really, we've seen San Marcos hold this large advantage for a pretty lengthy stint in this one. As I mentioned as well, Montana has not led at any point in the game overall. San Marcos scoring a couple of minutes into the game, and they've led ever since. Officials still talking on the far side of the field. We saw him go over to the scorer's table. I assume the issue with the shot clock. Looks like they're still messing around with those again. So yes, that must be what the issue is here. Now technology. You gotta love it, right? Team's now going to the sideline. least some of the San Marcos players are. The officials continue to mess with the shot clock on the far side. You kind of see the view from Steve Healy. See the shot clock getting moved in every which direction in terms of timing. So I'm not really sure exactly what the officials are looking for. If they want to have time put on or taken off. But part of this could also be this being a facility that both teams aren't that familiar with. Maybe they use shot clocks, new piece of technology.
No call appears.
I know that was the case with stadium clock. That contingent of San Marcos supporters were getting situated about an hour before the game, making sure they knew how to run the clock. Luke Glowacki able to find his way across the timeline, so we're back playing again. Throwing this one away though is Glowacki over the stick of Reese Barron. That is not the type of turnover the Grizzlies can afford at this point, trailing by the margin they are. At the 3-minute mark of this third quarter, 11-4 is the score. Mentioned how Montana's offense was able to get rolling in the third quarter when they trailed by a wide margin against the Bobcats, but that has not been the case so far in this third quarter. If you're a San Marcos fan, you must be loving this third quarter. Good defensive pressure there from the Grizzlies, keeping it away from Hunter Houston. Kobe Brown sets up this dodge opportunity. Tanner Peach moves it over far side. Dodging now is Pages. Pages shot to the right of the net. With 2:12 to go. It's a little bit confused at one point. Thought I saw official on the far side of the field put his hands up indicating goal scoring. Ball clearly skipped to the right of the net. 2:05 to go, third quarter. Quick dodge into the middle. Brown thought about a shot. Ball went the other direction as Kamau Pasabata able to pick up a loose ball and work his way across the timeline. So Kamau Pasabata works it across the senior, as he does, loses it. Another transition offense opportunity here for San Marcos. Donatelli finds it near post. Houston able to make one stop. And that point-blank opportunity. Hunter Houston, a big save there when he needed it the most. Now Carson Burrell lucking up ahead for a clear. Throws it past Hancock. Loose ball almost with Reese Barron on the far side, but it gets out of bounds right in front of that far sideline. Last 80 seconds of the third quarter. That's been firmly controlled by San Marcos. Grizzlies haven't been on the board since the first half. Held scoreless through this first quarter to this point. Almost locked away with 1 minute to go. Jacob Hudson, Brown, 50 seconds left now. Dodge coming from straight on. Shot from the far side, another snipe going top right-hand corner. 12-4 now the lead with 37 seconds to go in the quarter. And what another great shot that was. From Gavin Herrera, number 14. 37 seconds left in the quarter. We have seen precise shooting from this Cal State San Marcos outfit. Finding the corners, shooting from tough angles. And taking on a very tough goalie. Hunter Houston, first team all-conference. Between the Pipes and the PNCLL a season ago. San Marcos with an 8-goal advantage. Final 30 seconds of this third quarter. It's going to take quite the effort for Montana if they're going to want to try to make this one interesting. The final quarter of play. Hancock, Curran, moves into the middle, spins, shoots, save made. It looked relatively easy there. 7 seconds left. finding a clear. Maybe one last look right before the end of the quarter. Shot gets away, maybe partially deflected away from Justin Rink as well. Jacob Hudson tried to find the back of the net as the final couple of seconds of the third quarter ticked off. That opportunity goes begging. But luckily for CSU San Marcos, I haven't seen a lot of opportunities go begging through 3 quarters. It is all Cougars at the end of 3, 12-4 the score. Number 9 leading number 3. We're back with more after this on Grizzlax.com and ESPN MT app.
I don't know what you're doing. Come out there, good God.
San Marcos all over number 3 ranked Grizzlies so far getting their revenge from the national tournament a season ago. And a big reason why has been the face-off position. As James Ventura has been outstanding at that spot all game long. Cody Brown, shot, this one's whipped past the net to the right. A lot on that shot from Cody Brown. It's been a big part of both the offense and defensive side. Not just picking up ground balls, scoring goals as well, making clears, just about everything for this Cougar team. What a Swiss Army knife that is. When you have a player like that that can do a little bit of everything, very unique, very versatile guy. Donatelli passing in the middle, another goal opportunity, and they score. Adding on to the lead was Jason Freiboltz, number 77, as it's now a 13-4 game, with 14:19 to go in regulation. I am a bit surprised that Tucker Sargent hasn't called a timeout at any point, trying to stop the bleeding in the second half. It has just been all San Marcos in the second half. Another face-off, battle for the loose ball. Jarvis is able to come out of there somehow with it and settles it down for Slapper. 14:07. Aston Barron keeping it on that near side. Havens now. Brings it to the far side. Here's Marcus Knight. Curran up top. Takes on contact up high. Bogart going to X, instead feeds it back to Knight up top. Shot from the top angle from Havens, or Hancock rather, goes past the right hand post. 13:36 to go. Taking it back into play is Havens on the near side. Havens goes up top once again. Curran finding Marcus Knight. Dodges far post, spins, takes it out a bit. Curran into the middle. Not much there, using the screen. Finds a little alleyway near post, gets a shot off to the left of the cage though. Clear opportunity and thrown up ahead nicely, another transition opportunity. Plenty of space coming straight on. This shot just to the left of the net. Brandon Wamsley trying to get involved. The Granite Bay High School product. Not too far from where I grew up in Northern California. Sacramento guy. Shot, great shot, showing top shelf. Top left-hand corner. How many great shots have we seen from Cal State San Marcos in this one? Just scoring from every spot you could think of on the field. Brandon Donatelli, there's been Thibault, Tanner Peach, Kobe Brown. The lead is now 10, 14-4 is now the score, with 12:47 to go in this fourth quarter. And what a statement being made here by this San Marcos team. Maybe falling by a relatively wide margin last May, but that was 2022 and this is 23. You're gonna have to believe when those new polls come out in 2 days, San Marcos will be a heck of a lot higher than number 9. Surely look to be a lot better than number 9 from the teams we've seen so far this year. You've seen the Tommies of St. Thomas, Bobcats, Tritons as well just a few days ago. Seen teams that have been ranked in the top 10. This outfit of Cal State San Marcos surely lines up with those teams. Luke Glowacki finds an alley near side in transition. Shoots. This one's to the left of the net though. Luke Glowacki using his athleticism to find some space on the near side, trying to breathe some life into this Grizzly offense that has been very quiet in the second half. Still looking for their first goal of the second half. And that's been a bit of a concern at times for this Grizz team so far this year. They've gone stretches where the offense has gone dormant. Happened in the win on Sunday. They only scored 1 goal in that second half after scoring 10 in the first. Havens, Barron, Curran, moving it quickly. Yeomans. Defense was there. Yeomans backs out. Quick pass to Curran, and it taken away. Now another clear spot. That's been an area where they've been very strong. Jay Peters was able to find his way across the timeline with relative ease. So the ride was one of the Grizzlies' strengths in the win against the Tritons. So if you want to look at it from that point of view, 2 areas of strength in the Grizz win on Sunday, face-off spot and the ride defensively were advantages for the Grizz, where it's been the Cougars having the upper hand in both of those spots. Loose ball picked up by Donatelli, comes right in front of the net. Shot is stopped, I believe, by Hastings somehow. Came loose in front of the net for Slacker, trying to throw it ahead for Aiden Havens. Ball coming loose, able to pick up the loose ball. This Havens, here comes Hess now, far post. Finds some space in transition, shoots. And a save was made on the far post. Kobe Brown finds the clear with 10:23 to go, fourth quarter. And with his team leading by 10, he is in no hurry to go towards the net, knowing now the clock is their friend, so to speak, just trying to run it out. The rest of his fourth quarter, that bench on the far sideline, folks in blue and white just going nuts over there. Bench has been very vocal through most of this game. Donatelli getting pressured by both Burrill and Justin Ring. Penalty flag comes out with a 2 physical and defensive pressure there. San Marcos will have a man-up spot coming up. Shot from the near side, another goal for San Marcos. Kobe Brown adds on for CSU San Marcos. 11-goal advantage now, as this run just continues to grow. 11 goals, now the lead. And it has been a while since the Grizzlies have took one on the chin like this. Only game that comes to mind I can think of in the last few years was that game against the College of Idaho last year. It was just a whooping. 9:43, fourth quarter. Another battle at that face-off spot, won by the Cougars.
Oh man, I forgot to get talking.
James Ventura.
Please.
Fall asleep at the wheel.
9.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter.
And we got timeout.
Who called it?
Both teams coming to the bench. A timeout has been called. Timeout on the field. Who's going to be charged with that timeout is not clear.
Possession though, right? You have to have possession that timeout?
Yeah, if it did.
So, San Marcos.
Imagine Cal State San Marcos will be the team picking up the timeout here. Either way, timeout is on the field, with the Grizzlies trailing by 11. Dominant performance so far from CSU and San Marcos. They'll look to put the final touches on this one after this. Yikes.
Yeah. You play.
Fourth quarter in a game that's been utterly dominated by San Marcos Cougs. Shot from straight on. Hunter Easton able to make a stop there. See if Brody Stevens can find his way across the timeline. Gets past one man, turns on the Jets, and does make his way across. Or excuse me, that was Glowacki once again, making the clear for the Grizzlies. He's done a very nice job of that this season. And yes, with the deficit being where it is, tough spot to be in if you're Montana. And I'm sure Tucker Sargent would love to see his offense get into a little bit of a rhythm. Try to get some source of momentum to roll into their next game. Miles Hess gets a loose spot. Just another save made in the bottom right-hand post. Clear opportunity, passed up ahead, and clear is made. Nicely done there. Quick pass to Shea Peters, able to make it clear. Settles it down for Brown. And Easton Bates, number 8, has been very solid in net also for San Marcos. Has faced a lot less shots, obviously, than Easton has, but he has made some big saves. Good example is right there. Miles Hess had a pretty point-blank opportunity on the left-hand post. Able to make the stop was Bates in that situation. Kobe Brown has it in X right now. Doesn't really seem to be showing much interest at all to do much of anything offensively. Just trying to wind this clock off. Kobe Brown almost finds Donatelli right in front of the net. His pass goes over his head. Settled down though by San Marcos, now looking to dodge his peach. Shot opportunity. Tough angle. Far side goes to the right of the net, where Hunter Easton was. 7:20 now left on the game clock. 11-goal advantage for the Cougars. Brown uses a screen. Spins around one defender. Pass far post. A BTB shot is to the left of the net. Pretty nifty shot there for Nick Page. Pages, rather. It's just to the left of the net, though. With the big lead, might as well try out a little nifty shot. Pass intercepted by Sealer, trying to make a clear up ahead to Slapper. The ball goes loose all the way into the Grizz offensive side, picked up by Reese Barron. Reese Barron puts on the brakes. Scored once in the first half, did Barron. Hess has a goal, Curran has a goal, as does Barron. Nifty move by Glowacki getting free, couple of spins, spinning like a top that time, shoots to the left of the net though, with 6:36 left in the fourth quarter. Things have stayed dry through most of the second half, so the atmospheric river is through. Havens shoots to the right of the net, 6:20 left now. And before the game, it was wild watching the players warm up. Just deluge coming down. Guys were out there hooping and hollering, their hands up to the sky. Looked like something out of a Shawshank Redemption. With 6:12 to go, fourth quarter. Honestly, maybe like the opening scenes of Jurassic Park. Driving those Jeeps around, the rain and the wind, got the palm trees flying around, just wild here in Carlsbad. Last year, the Grizzlies were here in the San Diego area, it was 75, gorgeous. Not this trip. Kobe Brown. Kind of working things and keeping the ball in his possession, just working off the clock. Shooting for good measure off the siding of the cage on the near side. Houston picking up the loose ball in the crease. Looking for a clear now with 5.5 minutes to go here in this fourth quarter. Glad you joined us, Grizzlax.com and ESPN NT app. Keeping you rolling here as Havens had it go loose. Ends up with Brown once again. He fires a pass up ahead. That's taken away by Slapper. Mason Slapper lobs a pass to Glowacki. Nifty there, able to find the clear as Hancock settles it down. One guy we haven't heard much from in this game on the Grizz side of things has been Gavin Yeomans. He took a nasty hit during that game against UCSD, hopefully not feeling the effects of that one. Quick move into the middle. Marcus Knight finds the back of the net. And finally, in this second half, the Grizzlies have found the scoreboard. First goal of the second half scored by the SoCal native Marcus Knight. 15-5. Now the deficit for the Grizzlies. Yes, still a 10-goal deficit, but I'm sure that one probably felt pretty good for that sideline. Folks in maroon, white, and black for the Grizz. 4:45 to go, fourth quarter. Now a 10-goal game. The battle of that face-off spot. Ball goes loose, picked up by, guess who? Mason Slapper. Here he comes, across the timeline. Hasn't been too many bright spots for the Grizzlies, but Mason Slapper continues to be a feisty player that will just battle. Never will be the biggest guy on the field, but he is 100 miles an hour all the time. Fun guy to watch. Preston Stewart takes on two defenders, goes out wide now, past Miles Hess's direction. He dodges into the middle, spins, finds some space, shoots just to the left of the cage. Nifty move into the middle of the field for Hess, able to get free there to get the shot off. Just didn't put it on net. Curran leads a pass into the middle. Stewart tries to find Reese Barron. That pass gets away. Havens tries to keep it in play and cannot as it goes out of bounds on the back line. Looked to me like Havens just kind of lost his stick. Had an opportunity to get it in that back right-hand corner as he was going towards that out-of-bounds boundary, but just lost the stick. Ball trickled out of bounds instead. Now on the ride. Ball trickles out of bounds on the near sideline, off the Cougars, so the Grizzlies get it right back. Hess will bring it into X with 3.5 minutes left. Hess passes in the middle, nobody home. Peter Curran trying to pick up the loose ball. Defensive pressure there also, knocking it loose. Now a battle for a ground ball, and Kobe Brown's going to pick that up. Another physical play made from Shea Peters, number 4. He has been a good enforcer for this Cougar team, getting in there, playing physical, not afraid to sacrifice his body, make big hits, so to speak, setting up another possession here. So the little things going the Cougars' way. Ground balls, face-offs, winning possession, all firmly in favor of Cal State San Marcos. Big reason why you're seeing the score where it is right now. Axel Gerada keeps it on the near side. Pass looking for Donatelli, gets away momentarily, but will be picked up by Nick Pages. 2:20 to go. You would imagine San Marcos slow it down. Kobe Brown, some nifty footwork around 3 defenders, looks for a pass near post. Curran knocks that away. Battled for the loose ball on the near sideline. Knocking it loose and taking it across the timeline nicely is Peter Curran. 2 minutes left, fourth quarter. Passing in the middle, Justin Rank takes a shot. This one is to the left of the net. Don't often see Justin Rank come down defensively. Taking shots offensively, does there though. Save was made on the left-hand post. Coming far side now. Easton able to make the save. Kind of looked behind him for a second to realize the ball was actually knocked down. So that goes out of bounds with nearly 90 seconds left in this fourth quarter clock. Penalty flag was also down behind the play. So it could be that we're going to see Cougars go a man down in this situation. Looks like indeed that's what we're going to see. Once again, last game on the spring break trek coming up on Thursday evening. Up the road a bit, near downtown Los Angeles on the campus of Loyola Marymount University. Stewart finds Gavin Yeomans, thought about a pass in the middle, not there. Instead comes far side. Curran, head fake. Here's Hess with a 1:18 to go. Finds Yeomans once again. Takes a shot, passes it towards Stewart, who loses it out of bounds to the right of the sideline. Unforced errors also reared their ugly heads at times in this one. And we're facing a tough opponent like Cal State San Marcos. Giveaways is just something you can't afford to have. Ball just hucked up ahead. Looking to answer a prayer, so to speak. Justin Rank couldn't find it initially. Slacker looking for another ground ball, instead picked up by Shea Peters. Whistle sounds. Looks like San Marcos may have called another timeout. Battling for possession. Both teams going to the bench area. Indeed, that is what is taking place. San Marcos calling their second timeout, final timeout. Has 38 seconds left to take this game off. Cougars need to look for one last ball put into the back of the net after this.
I look like they're the silver. Call it
What?
I don't know. Look at them there.
I hope so.
Maybe not.
I hope they do.
I've never seen referees go way up.
Good thing we came and saw you now.
38
Holy
seconds
moly.
left to regulation of what has been an
Beer bottles
absolutely
for
dominant
you.
effort. The only way to say it from this Cal State Marcos team. Led from the early portions, led all the way through. Held a 6-goal advantage going into halftime and have only built on it here in the second half, allowing just 1 goal so far in the second half. Marcus Knight, the only man that has scored for the Grizz here in the second half. As Kobe Brown brings it behind the net in X. Probably just going to want to run around the field for the next 20 seconds or so and wind out the rest of this clock. Now stands at 15 seconds. Would be fitting. It would be Brown that gets to jog off these last couple of seconds. He has been one of the go-to guys for this team through the game. Passing in the middle, Donatelli gets loose, shoots one last time for good measure. One save made by Houston. 2 seconds, and that is the end of the action.
Wow, that's a good team.
Cal State San Marcos makes a very emphatic statement here on this Tuesday evening. running away opposite the number 3 ranked team in MCLA D2 lacrosse. Maybe number 9 in this iterations of the rankings, but you gotta believe in 2 days, Cal State San Marcos stock is going up. From the performances we've seen this year, from top 5 quality opponents, St. Thomas, Montana State, not quite in the top 5 Tritons of UC San Diego, but still a very solid outfit. Number 7, nothing to sneeze at. I might be more impressed with them than any other outfit that the Grizzlies have faced this year. And that's saying something, considering they have faced a 6-time national champion and 2 other teams that have went to the national tournament a season ago. Very impressed with this Cal State San Marcos team. Doing all they could with the Grizzlies. And mission accomplished. Cal State San Marcos. After that loss last season, they got it, and then some here on this Tuesday night. And it's back to the drawing board for this Grizz offense, especially. Second game in a row, the offense couldn't find much success in the second half.